Hello and welcome back to more Vintage Cube Draft. This is a very this is like modern cube right now. This pack is not great. I could start with I don't even think that Triumph's that good. I like Goblin Welder. Phyrexian Revoker is just really good. Of cards in here, Renin 6 probably has the most upside, but it is like two colors and red-green is hard to make come together, so that's awkward. Underground River is fixing for two of like the best colors there, so that's interesting. What do I want to do? I think I'll take Revoker. Revoker just goes in so many decks. Very good card. You can play it in artifacts, you can play it in red aggro, white aggro, like mono black. You could play it, like it just does so much stuff. So I love this card. Here, Liliana's good. I really just like ultimating Liliana. I really just don't often play Hex Drinker because I don't like it, to be honest. I like interactive games. I don't like this like sub game with Hex Drinker where it's just can you level it up and then you win. I like the art though. The art's really cool. There's like big blue bubble thing. It's kind of fun. I've never played a game with Fable, I don't think, so that's interesting, but I'm gonna take Tolarian Academy here. Academy Revoker is a pretty good start. Oh wow. This pack is doing some stuff. Spellseeker High Tide in the same pack is awesome. You could take High Tide Wheel Spellseeker. Deathrite Shaman's good, although worse in this cube. I'm kind of conditioned to my cube a little bit, so it's worse here, but so maybe you'd first pick Hierarch, but the fact that you can play it in green or black is pretty nice. Mind Twist is fine. The rest are fine, but I want to take Coalition Relic here. Emrakul. Balance. Balance tends to be good in these artifact style decks. Liliana, Escape to the Wilds, blah blah blah. I'm gonna take Walking Ballista. It's a good early enabler, but then it's also like a really good mana sink for Tolarian Academy. So kind of does everything we want, and it helps us cut artifacts, which is something that you tend to want to do in this deck. Glenalendra, Chandra, Kenrith. I don't even know what Kenrith does. All creatures gain trample and haste. Put a counter on a creature, gain life, draws a card, and reanimate. But it doesn't, you can't reanimate opponent's stuff into your play, it goes into their play. So that's a little bit bad. We could take Glenn. I could just take the Golgari Signet and really just try and go deep into artifacts. It lets me stay open. But I like Chandra. I like the big blue-red artifact deck, and Chandra's sweet. She also helps you with mana, because if you can ramp her out, then she adds 2 mana. So if you're trying to play like Inferno Titan, Consecrated Sphinx, Upheaval, things of that nature. Ulamog could be there, but I'm going to take Thran Dynamo. I think. I mean, Ulamog's so sweet, but Thran Dynamo is like, this is hard. What am I doing? Thran Dynamo, Ulamog. I'm going to take the Dynamo, because I guess I would probably rather have an artifact payoff. There's Tooth and Nail. With this much mana, I'm probably priced into running Tooth and Nail. It just gives me like a good win condition. Double green with Coalition Relic isn't super hard to hit. The other option is just Skull Clamp to have a cheap artifact for Tolarian Academy, which is also a really good option. I'll just do that. Staying colorless I think is useful here. Blade Splicer, Forest, Light Up the Stage, Wear Tear. None of these cards are super exciting, so there's that. I have Chandra, but Light Up the Stage doesn't really fit in this deck. I think I'm gonna take Blade Splicer. White seems to be open because both of these are pretty decent white cards, and Blade Splicer at least goes with Skull Clamp a little bit. This is the wrong colors. So Spectral Procession also does go with Skull Clamp. But I'm going to take this Goblin Welder. That seems awesome here. Wow, Liliana comes around. I mean, that's got to be a sign that... I mean, Mardu is open. that is what I've gathered. So I can stay here and draft mono white like Kitchen Finks. I do like Oust. It's a good way to stay alive. I could draft a Liliana just because she's good and black feels open. I'll take Liliana, I guess. I don't know. That's interesting. Ophiomancer is also good with Skull Clamp. Deathrite Shaman's pretty good here. Tireless Trackers, whatever. I'll take... This is a weird deck right now. Things are happening and I don't know what to make of them. I'm going to take Deathrite here. I think my deck is going to want... the acceleration a little bit, and more likely I probably just won't end up playing either of them is my guess if I had to guess. Fatal Push, Escape to the Wilds. I'm gonna take Escape here. Okay, so maybe not Liliana. We'll see. I'm in between quite a few decks, but the nice thing is, like, this is why I took, like, Phyrexian Revoker, Coalition Relic. These picks let me stay open. So it might look like a mess because I have, like, I don't know, many cards of different colors, but I'm not costing myself that much, right? If I don't go into white, I lose one pick. If I don't go into black, I lose one pick. If I don't go into red, I lose a couple more. So I'm more likely to wanting to be in red, but I'm just keeping my options open at this point. Wow, this is weird. Lord of the Third Path, I guess, is good. So red, white. I don't know. I haven't seen like any blue cards. So this might be the classic colorless Tolarian. Oh my gosh, come on. Literally, why? Why does nobody draft white? Okay, well, we could draft a big white deck. Shallow Grave 2. This is wild. So nobody's in Reanimator and nobody's in white. I got not a whole lot of artifacts late, and I saw like no blue cards. I want to be honest, I think there was a couple picks where I just didn't want to draft white because it's always open, so like it's kind of the fallback. And if I could avoid it, I would. Looks like I can't avoid it. When you get like 13th pick Adeline, which I think is probably one of the best white cards in the cube, I think you have to act on it. All right, what are we doing here? Minsk and Boo. I could ignore all of the signs and just take Minsk and Boo and play Escape to the Wilds, Minsk and Boo, Chandra. That is an option. Gideon, like if I just want to ignore or just continue down the route, I could take Gideon, draft probably a decent white deck. I don't want to do that. I often make the distinction, if you want to win, white is open. It's not too late to switch into white at this point. Probably just take Gideon and go down that route. I've just drafted white like literally hundreds of times. I don't think I've ever played Minsk and Boo in my life. So I'm just going to do that. And we're just going to see what happens. Lightning Bolt is awesome. Oracle of Moldiah kind of past its prime, I think, in the cube, but still good. Some other cards, but I'm going to take Bolt here. Aetherflux Reservoir is also kind of funny. Copperline Gorge. Oh, Solemn I like a lot. I know he's kind of, again, a little outdated in the cube. Stuff has gotten so powerful lately. Like, look at Skyclave Apparition. You would have gone, like, Gideon into something into Skyclave. Like, your deck would be sick. Oh, Boros Signet. I probably should take Boros Signet here. Yeah. Solemn might even come around. 4-drops are kind of a dime a dozen now. Alright, we're going in red-green, Minsk and Booing, Goblin Weldering. Probably not playing black, and maybe splashing like these two. I don't think triple white is something that I can afford though. Here we, oh man, this deck would have been sick. I mean, Orcish Lumberjack, but we're gonna take Nissa. Nissa is just so good. This is like the one card that gets me into green decks because she's just absurd. She can also untap my Tolarian Academy, and maybe Orcish Lumberjack comes around, so that's kind of fun. I feel bad for whoever I'm cutting off right now because they probably like could have had a good deck, but then I'm just taking a bunch of random cards from them. Seething Song. Silver Springs could let me splash a Grist. I love Chandra. Oh, I have Skull Clamp. Yeah, let's take Chandra. I don't have, I guess I just have Lightning Bolt right now, but she makes 1/1s, and then I can kill those to Skull Clamps. So that's pretty good. If I can avoid playing the white cards, I will. This is my favorite archetype, by the way, just big red-green. I love it so much. I hope that I can, like, force my way into the archetype and people can move on my way and someone else will pick up all these random white cards. Okay, there's Garrick. There's Avalanche Riders. Yawgmoth's will too, Vraska. I'll take a Garrick, I guess. Yeah, I'm just gonna cut these. I'm just not playing white if I can avoid it. I'm tired of it. Today's a red-green day. Also, I don't know if this is worth mentioning or not, but this draft has been going like incredibly slow to the point where it feels like maybe 2 people are auto-picking. Like it's been taking forever here. Mountain Plain Swamp, that's not fixing. There's a Hornet Queen. Goblin Guide. Manamorphose can help with the mana. Honestly, I might just take Manamorphose to help with my mana. Like, I don't think this is really a Goblin Guide deck. I have literally 1 green creature right now. So, I mean, I could just cut the green cards so that next pack I'm more likely to get green, because if I do get green Sun Zenith, I can get like 1 mana elf. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm forcing my way in. I don't often draft this way because for me it's easier to, or more reliable, to just read the signals and then adapt to the draft. But you are also sending signals as you play the game, right? The cards you take, the cards you pass, that gives opponents information on what they want to do. Eternal Witness, Augur of Autumn, Blood Crypt, I don't think I'm going to do. The fixing here is really bad. I think I'm going to take Ewit. We're just going raw power. Rebuying Minsc and Boo is good. But yeah, if I take all the green cards, my opponents just don't see them. The thing is, when you make a decision with your picks, you're only one person sending signals. So the amount of information you can use to manipulate opponents is 1 out of 8 people. When you're reading the signals of other people in the draft, there's 7 other people there. So that's a lot more reliable information that you can work with. So I think overall your win rate will be higher. Look at this. Gideon Wield. What is happening? Oh my god. That's what I mean. I can't force someone to take the white cards. You can see someone's not taking the white cards go into it. I never draft this way where you try and force your way in. But if you notice, I have so many cards that I can't play. And it's just going to get worse next pack, probably, because we're all fighting over this. This really isn't a Crater Hoof deck, so I'm going to take Beaumont Courier. I mean, maybe it could be. I have Coalition Relic, Thran Dynamo. That could also be part of why people are taking the green cards. But Crater Hoof Wield, right? Nobody's taking that card. They're just taking the little elves or whatever. Shieldbreaker's fine. Reservoir's funny. Let's take the Shieldbreaker. I don't know. Maybe passing Crater Hoof was a mistake. But the thing is, I just don't have many creatures. This isn't a ramp out big creatures, but I think it was a mistake. Because even just you make it a Hamster plus Crater Hoof, that's still quite a bit of damage. Okay, that's good news. Elvish Mystic came around. What is happening? This card should not be wheeling. Okay, there's a Ferocidon, I guess, is the card for us. Thalia was going around too. Man, you can tell it hurts me to pass white cards. The dream deck is out there somewhere. This card's weird. It's probably decent, because it does punish tokens, and it stops life gain. It also has Menace. I'll probably try it out. I mean, turn 1 Elvish Mystic, turn 2 Ferocidon's not a terrible play. So we have no fixing. I don't know about this Goblin Welder Tolarian Academy game plan right now. Beaumont Courier would probably fall into this package, because we have Nissa. I guess Omnath is the one I'm more likely to play, but not very likely. Okay, last pick Goblin Guide. You know what? Maybe we are in the right colors. But I don't think there was a world in this draft where it could have ended up blue. I mean, maybe someone else found a line, but would have been very difficult. Natural Order. So if I did have Crater Hoof, that would be an avenue I could go. I could still go that direction. But I've never drafted a Tolarian Academy red-green deck before. So if I can, I would like to go that avenue. I could take Karn, Batterskull, Dimir Signet or something and go that route. I want to go this route. I want to take Karn here. Just go big mana. Raphelos, Library, Hangerback, Walker. Raphelos is probably the card. Yeah. Okay, yeah, maybe I'm off of this. I don't know, Natural Order is just not appealing to me. I haven't gotten to play with Karn in a long time. I think he's gotten a lot. There's so many cards that are stronger than him. Minsc and Boo is probably just a stronger card than Karn, and he costs almost half as much, way less mana. But sometimes it's good to just go back to the classics. So definitely not playing Omnath. I don't really have any Welder stuff. And this Academy is looking worse and worse with Nissa and Raphelos. Just a basic forest might produce more mana, so I'll probably just cut it at this point. Here, so there's Ramanop Excavator. I don't have any good targets for that right now. Regrowth can rebuy some Planeswalkers. I mean, I could just be mono green infinite Planeswalkers deck. I could take Arid Mesa. If I get a single red-green duel, this can hit those. So that might be the pick. Because Regrowth might come around. An Excavator is also pretty bad if you don't have any fetches. So I think we take the first fetch. Because the thing my deck needs more than anything else is like a Stomping Ground or a Taiga. That does it, I guess. So I'm gonna take the fixing first. The bird is really good too, but I think the first piece of like the first dual land is so important here. So having another spell for Chandra, can you cast this? You may cast target instant or sorcery. I don't think you can cast Ember Shieldbreaker off of Chandra, so I probably want at least one more spell. Like Regrowth. Regrowth Chandra actually seems really sick. A Braid is pretty good. Deep Forest Hermit, Mer Battlesphere with Tolarian Academy is a bunch of mana. But I think we're off of that. I think I'm just going to take a Braid. Okay, I do regret passing Craterhoof Behemoth. That I can say with certainty. So right now, probably Ferocidon is the one that gets the cut. I think Shieldbreaker is a lot more utility. I'll sideboard it in probably very frequently, but I don't know if it's a main deck card. Deathrite Shaman. I have one fetch. It's fine. It's fine. It tends to play a lot like Gilded Goose, where you get one activation out of it, and then the rest is... I mean, relevant Graveyard Hate is important too. Okay. Draga Tree Speaker, Green Soul Ring, probably just the pick. I like Fiend Artisan a lot more than most people, and Primal Command is also sweet, but this card, yeah, Green Soul Ring, still a Soul Ring, can really help with the consistency of hitting 5, 7, 4 mana. I will say this is looking less and less like a Thran Dynamo deck. Oh, why? Why do they do this to me? This is a very good GT deck, right? We got so many little creatures. This is so embarrassing. I mean, Verdant Catacombs is a good card, and I would take it over most things, but one day people will respect Umezawa's GT. Alright, yeah, we're gonna cut Thran Dynamo. I might cut this Boros Signet, because I just have creature-based ramp, which I guess works a little better. We'll see. Bone Crusher Giant's good. Okay, Goblin Bombardment is in the cube. That's good. I was a little worried by Thought Picker Witch when I thought the bombardment was not there. I'll probably cut the Signet. I want to keep Karn in. I have Nissa and Raphaelos, and it's just a card I haven't played with. That's literally the only reason for him to be here. I don't think I'm gonna well, I guess it might be worth just to activate Deathrite Shaman to run Sulfur Springs over one mountain. Oh, it's also a red source that can cast the Shaman, so yeah, it's definitely worth running. So at this point our deck is finished. We didn't get any fixing, unfortunately. Natural Order versus Woodfall. I guess I'll take Woodfall Primus because, I mean, what am I going to Natural Order for in this deck besides Woodfall Primus? Because I think I saw these packs already. Lotus Bloom. Recurring Nightmare would be... It's only good with Woodfall Primus. I'll take Robber of the Rich in case I want to sideboard into, like, a particularly aggressive deck. It's also good on the play, I guess. Does Minsc and Boo have an ultimate too? No. Okay. That would be insane. I guess it's Perforos's Intervention. I'm very confused by this card's existence in the cube. Twice X damage to target creature planeswalker. So if you do it for 1, so this is 2 mana for 2 damage, 3 mana for 4 damage. It's fine, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't seem terrible. Oh, Court of Bounty. I can become the Monarch, and then I can put creatures or land. I'm just gonna take Boseiju. Well, the thing about Boseiju that's a little awkward is it's not a forest for Raphaelos or Nissa. But I wasn't playing either one, maybe. Oh my gosh. Alright, nobody gets mother. Well, you know what? I want to incentivize people to draft white, so whoever is drafting white here gets rewarded. I mean, Intervention I can play off Sean. Ooh, Fiend Artisan. I like that guy. Sacrifice a creature. So Fiend Artisan Chandra works. Fiend Artisan Garrick. Fiend Artisan Minsc and Boo. And I can grab Woodfall Primus' top end. Eternal Witness. Maybe it's not that good. It's basically just Woodfall Eternal Witness that I would want to find. So maybe I don't play that. You know what? I'm going to try this card out. We have a Braid. I'm going to try it over the Shieldbreaker. Just see how it goes. I've never played the card before in my life. So let's see what happens. I have the ability to make a lot of mana. So maybe I get to hit someone with like a 13-1 Trample Elemental. 24. So I need to make 1 cut here. What do I cut? I mean, it's probably just this card. I know I talked it up. Okay, I'll just cut this card after I hyped it up so much. I could cut oh, you know what? She's so good with Skull Clamp specifically, and I have Coalition Relic for double red. Okay, we'll see what happens there. Alright, so let's see what this mana looks like. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 red cards, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 red sources? 9 red sources is not terrible. And then green, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think in this deck, I'm actually going to sideboard Boseiju. I know it might seem crazy, but Raphaelos and Nissa both want forests so badly. But if I see an opponent playing artifacts that I want to kill, I'll obviously bring it in. But I would rather just have a fully consistent matchup. Like if I'm playing in Storm or something, I feel like this utility is higher value. See you all round 1. Oh, I just realized I have Goblin Guide in there. I definitely do not want Goblin Guide in my deck, so I can cut him for Purphoros' intervention and just see how it goes. Let's do that. Hello everyone! After a year of full-time development, the card game I've been working on, Algomancy, is ready to launch, and it's going to be coming to Kickstarter this August. I'll be making and sharing more information about this game in the coming weeks. I've set the game launch trailer to premiere the same time as we go live, so if you just want to follow that, check the link in the description. There's also a bunch of links in there to talk about the game or just read more about it if you're curious now. Otherwise, just enjoy the video. Oh, right, we're playing against Miruru. We're on the play. This is a hand, I guess. Do I trust the system? I guess I trust the system. If I draw lands, I'm running 17, I have a bunch of mana sources. This hand will be great. My opponent kept 7. They did not say, hey, good luck, have fun, back to me. Very disappointing. Oh my gosh. It's my favorite card. Well, we're in a good spot here. So I could just hold up a Braid and let them level it up. And then kill it in response to the second level up if they go that avenue. They are wise waiting to level this up. I'm gonna wait till end of combat because they might have something I want to kill more. And it's level 3, it gets protection. Okay, now we just kill it. So that was smart by them, they get an extra 2 damage for free. But it is kind of like a time walk, although, you know, they spent 3 mana on this card, I spent 2, so I'm not ahead that much. I can Green Sun Zenith for something that gives me mana. Kind of like just having Chandra in play. Make 2 dudes. Start attacking. Because now, if I need to recast a Braid, I can. I can play on Mana Tithe on Green Sun Zenith. Oof. A little punished on that, but now I can Green Suns for 1. And just get Llanowar Elves playing around Mana Tithe. Is there something for 2 I could get that would be better? Raphaelos is better. Yeah, this doesn't look like a Mana Tithe deck. Let's just get Raphaelos. Chandra is gonna make 2 1/1s. This is the most awkward Raphaelos, but sometimes you play Raphaelos with only a single green mana at your disposal. Ah, Dark Depths. Okay. Maybe they have Vampire Hexmage? That would be pretty bad. I don't think my deck has an answer to that, but if they're just playing it naturally, that's fine. Walking Ballista is pretty good. I guess I'll run out a Garrick here. And let's just make a beast. I want a lot of board presence because eventually I will die to Dark Depths stuff. So I just want to get in for as much damage as I can. Next turn we get to Nissa. We have Hangerback Walker 2 for a little bit extra damage. Okay, they have the combo. It's a 20 damage flyer. I don't know if I have an out to it. Let me think about this. Karn? So I get to go Forest. Karn is my out. Is that right? Or killing them. But they can block with it, so killing them seems really difficult. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We get to play Nissa. I don't think I have anywhere near enough mana to cast a Karn here. She untaps the land, right? Untapped. It becomes an elemental creature with vigilance, so I can untap here. If I have any way to gain life in my deck too, that would work. Tap this. Garrick will untap these. Can escape to the wilds. Minskin boot, you gain life. I can sacrifice a creature to do X damage to anything that doesn't really get me there. I guess my best bet now is just them making a mistake, which is a game plan. I played my land. Chandra is going to create some elementals. Let's play Coalition Relic. Anchor Pack or Walking Ballista. And then probably die, but who knows? Opponent could make a mistake. They already messed up by not just doing it immediately because... I don't know. I could have sorcery speed removal, I guess. But just playing Wasteland, they can't react to it and then their combo's dead. But I'm just dead here. They just attack me for lethal. Okay. Do I have any way to stop that? Beseiju does stop that. Do we do that? Yeah, seems about it. Alright, better hand, better game. I don't have a lot to deal with Merit Lage, but this hand looks really good. Oh, Jite was some life gain I could have hit, I guess. We're very, very weak to a removal spell on Tree Speaker turn 2. But that's always the case, isn't it? Also on the list of things you can do with Jite. 20 Jite counters can in fact kill a Merit Lage. So, you always have that as an out. Man, am I just gonna die like right away? I'm really not a fan of the, level you up. Not a fan of the Dark Depths Thespian Stage combo in Cube, specifically because it's quite, like, non-interactive. What is this? Not stacking abilities automatically. Like, the whole point of Cube, I would think, is to, like, interact with your opponents, play a game back and forth. There are cards that kill this, but it's like Strip Mine, Wasteland, Swords to Plowshares, Path to Exile. Not that many. Actually, it does make a creature. Maybe it's fine. So next turn if I draw a forest, we are in business. Because then I could just Woodfall Primus, kill the Dark Depths. Okay, never mind. I no longer have a lot of mana. I'll probably just play a Walking Ballista for 2. Whenever an opponent casts their first non-creature. Yeah, I don't want to give them mana, so we'll Walking Ballista for 2 this turn. Kill this thing. Yeah, a land there would have been pretty nice, because then I could go Garrick, pay the 1, then do the thing. But I don't have any way to really stop Dark Depths from killing me, although I'm at 21 life, so Swords to Plowshares gave me 1 extra turn. Okay, that's not the combo card. That's good. And I have Beseiju. Go for Garrick? Well, this is tough, actually. I mean, I guess I'm running into days. Let's go for Garrick here. Okay, Garrick is good. Untap these lands. Attack with Walking Ballista. And I guess I'm just gonna hold up Beseiju this turn. It might be a little bit telegraphed, but like this is the one thing that kills me from this board state, from what I can tell. I don't want to squander it by tapping out. A lot of times I go through this discussion of like, when do you tap out? Like, so I have an answer to my opponent's combo. Let's say I only had 2 forests in play. Like, do I just hold up Beseiju for the rest of the game? I don't think I can afford to do that because I have nothing in play. But now that I have things in play, I can afford to hold up mana, I think. Ooh, they get to put Uro in their discard too. Like, obviously it would be better with Jite in play, but the way this works out now is, I mean, I could just Beseiju the Dark Depths right away. So they got Savai Triome. They have 3 cards in hand. I think I'd rather hold up this mana because I get to go play Jite, equip Jite, untap 2. I'm not using that mana for anything else. I guess I'm not making Garrick beasts though. Yeah, let's just kill this. I don't know, that might have been bad, but I want to use my mana for stuff. Wait, did they fail the... Oh no, they get a Triome. Okay. Okay, another land. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana now. Let's go play around whatever. Jite. Play around Spell Pierce, sure. Equip Jite. I guess they trade off if I do that. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So any land lets me Woodfall Primus next turn. I'd like to have Walking Ballista around. I'd also like to have beast creatures in play though. Yeah, I think I made a mistake here. That's fine. I think I just do this. I can GT equip here. Attack like this. And I don't feel the need to kill Satyr Wayfinder. They're gonna get Uro into play, I think, this turn. They have green, green. They have one. No, they're short of green or blue at the moment. Okay, they have Recruiter. I don't think there's any Convoke cards in the cube, so I'm not going to GT down their creatures right now. They can get Vampire Hexmage, which would be kind of annoying, actually. Knight of Autumn. Oh no, my GT! That's okay. Things could be worse than that. Okay, let's kill the Knight and the Recruiter. Seems like a pretty good trade to me. That dies. They have 2 cards in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, any land I still get to Woodfall Primus. Blowing up Spar's headquarters would be so good. Phyrexian Revoker. I don't know how that works actually. Is this an activated ability? I genuinely don't know. Hang on. The internet suggests that it does not work to stop it. So, given this, I think the play here is to put a counter on Walking Ballista. Make a beast. And attack for 2. But if I could stop Escape with Revoker, I think that's the play. Because Uro, I mean, it's a big dude. It will become a problem soon. And now they hit their green source for it. Also, if I could have Revokered a green source, I would have done that. But if I draw any land here, Woodfall Primus can kind of go toe-to-toe with Uro quite favorably. Any untapped land. I have 1 tapped land in the deck, though. Not that one. Okay. Ugh, that hurts so much. Elvish Mystic, you sly dog. Alright, let's go. Garrick, make a beast. So I can double block Uro if I need to. Play Elvish Mystic. I guess I'm just gonna hold up Walking Ballista instead of Revoker, because I don't think stopping this Mox Brawl does anything, and if they have a Planeswalker, I think I'd rather do something against that. Interesting. They are taking the initiative, so they get to get a basic land and put it into their hand. And now, I've never played against this, but now if I hit them, then I take the initiative. Tireless Tracker. Okay. That's fine. I think I'm gonna put a counter on the Ballista now. And kill the tracker before they can do anything. What does this card do? At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, if you untap a creature you control, that's insane. Okay, let's kill this before they can crack a clue to save their guy. If I draw a red source, that would be amazing, because then I could kill the white plume and like easily attack through. They can't really attack with Uro here because I have double beasts, so I guess they're just planning to hold the initiative. But I can take the initiative this turn. Interesting. Well, I'll block with my beast tokens. They only have 2 cards in hand. They can't escape Uro this turn. Okay, that's good. I have a pretty easy avenue towards the initiative. I can untap a creature. That was such a bad draw. Alright, let's Woodfall Primus. We're gonna kill Spar's headquarters and hope they don't have double blue. Next turn they can trap or scry 2. Or forge or scry. Okay, so they can put counters on their thing. Oh, they can put counters on their Uro. That's so gross. Oh, and they get a plane so they don't have blue for Uro? Is that what I'm seeing? Yeah, they don't have blue for Uro. Okay, I'm down for that. These draws, by the way. As soon as I draw a mountain, we're gonna go so far ahead here. Okay, so they're making this into a 5/5. I mean, if they have like a removal spell for Woodfall Primus, then I am in some amount of trouble. Please don't be Fractured Identity. Okay, Golos is fine. I can live with the Golos. They can get that blue source they were probably supposed to fetch off Prismatic Vista, maybe. Caracas. Okay. Golos Caracas is a little scary, but kind of cool. Okay. We get to untap a creature, whatever. Red source. Arid Mesa. That is a mountain. Okay. What am I doing here? A big part of me wants to just ultimate Garruk and swing out. I feel like that's a terrible idea. Chandra does 4 damage, so Chandra plus Walking Ballista can kill the White Plume Adventurer. How much mana do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. If I kill the White Plume Adventurer, then pretty hard for them to take the initiative. So I have 4 for Chandra, and then enough to also Walking Ballista. So let's do that. Untap these. Play Chandra. Chandra's gonna do damage. Let's make sure I'm successful putting the counter on the Ballista first. Okay, Chandra's gonna do 4 here. Then I'll do 1 here. And then I'll attack with Woodfall Primus. If they want a double block, I could just shoot the Satyr Wayfinder. So I feel like this attack is fine. And then I have 2 creatures back to protect my Planeswalkers. I take the initiative. Grab our mountain. Okay. The game continues. Can they activate Golos here? Yep, they can. Okay, should have revoked that. I didn't realize this was red. Alright, what do you got? I don't know which of these are cards in their deck. Revealed? Oh, they're here. Reclamation, Crop Rotation, Incinerate. You can cast any number of them. Gross. Okay, they do that. So they're going to kill my Walking Ballista. And he's going to shoot the Satyr Wayfinder. They only have 8 cards in their deck. I might just beat their entire deck here. I'm at 20 now, though. So I guess if they can somehow bring back Dark Depths, then I could be in trouble next turn. There you go. Ask and you shall be. So, but I get plenty of time, because they brought back Dark Depths, whatever. I have Garruk Ultimate ready. They're attacking Garruk. This is +3/+3 and trample. So they're going to make the thing next turn. How much damage can I hit them for? This is going to be 9 plus 4 is 13. I can Lightning Bolt Ramen Up Excavator, so they just die. Okay, so I just block here. Oh, and I get to put counters on a thing too. Forge puts counters, right? Forge. Put counters here. Forest is good, so let's Lightning Bolt the Excavator. Play red, play the Revoker, naming Golos. Ultimate Garruk. That's a lot of damage. Okay, game 3. My opponent's playing quite slowly, and I've seen a lot of their deck now, so I know they're... Basically, if they don't accomplish the combo, their deck does not do a whole lot. Which is good to know. I also kind of like having Purphose's intervention against the initiative stuff. This hand's quite good. Alright, we got our lands. Let's draw like Nissa and I guess Boseiju probably. Oh, and I love to see them killing the Mystic there, because Raphaelis is way scarier. Okay, Esper Sentinel's fine. I can kill it with Stomp, which is probably the play. Let's go... this will be 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so... Well, I guess I could just go Mountain, tap here, play Coalition Relic, pay the 1. Forgot about paying the 1, to be honest. Then Stomp you. No cards for you, opponent. The next turn I have 6, 7, 8 mana. Oh, perfect. And they played Thespian Stage, so I can kill it too. Golos. So Golos cost how much to activate? 7. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I kill a land, they can't activate Golos. Clever deck, though. You know, if they have Ramanab Excavator, it is what it is. But I'm going to play a giant Walking Ballista, and I'm going to Phyrexian Revoker the Golos. Drawing Minsc and Boo would also be kind of good, because then I could Minsc and Boo killing, like, the Thespian stage. Because I can sacrifice Woodfall Primus to do 6 damage to my opponent, and then when Woodfall Primus dies, I kill their other land. Oh, you know what I could do? I could just Phyrexian Revoker the Mox Pearl. Then they only have 3 mana. That's maybe better, actually. They have 4 mana, so they're like many turns away from doing Golos stuff. Oh, a Braid. So I could just Braid the Golos. Okay, this is so easy now. We Braid Golos. There's no Karakas. Then I Phyrexian Revoker. Mox Pearl. For those wondering, I cannot name Thespian Stage because it says non-land. This has 3. I think I just attack for 8. They're very close to dead here. No, that doesn't make sense. I'll do this. Attack for 6. And then I can play a Walking Ballista. Okay, they swords my guy. So I'm going up to 26, which is actually very relevant in this matchup. Here comes... Are they going to play the White Plume Adventurer? Okay, they vindicate that guy. 1 damage to you. 1 damage to you. And then they just play land. Okay. They take 4 here. Oh, are they dead? Purphoros' Intervention. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could put them to 1, but I could just do that next turn. Let's play the Bone Crusher Giant, attack with everything. And then Intervention will maybe not be relevant, actually. This is 4. Next turn will be 8. So they die anyway, so the Intervention doesn't matter. Okay, see you all next round. Okay, we're here for round 2 against Sorkrana. Teleport, good luck, have fun. This hand. On the draw, no accelerants, too many lands. I'll keep this one. This one at least has interaction. Skull Clamp Chandra is really good. I'm gonna get rid of Escape. And this one actually said good luck, have fun, which I like. Just don't thought seize my Chandra combo, please. Okay. Go Mountain, just play Skull Clamp. Okay, Night's Whisper is fine. Nothing scary. Purphoros' Intervention, just the card I wanted. I'll play Forest here. Oof, I don't like Library. I mean, I also have a crazy card draw engine, but they could easily counter it, but I don't think there's any... Maybe there is reason to play around it, actually. Mountain. They have so much mana up. Let's just go for it. They could easily be Storm. Like, Night's Whisper Library suggests to me Storm. Yeah. Create 2 elementals and attack them. I can't Skull Clamp yet, but I can next turn. This feels like a matchup where I gotta pressure my opponent. Chain of Vapor my Chandra. I will not sacrifice a land. Well, that went so much better than not doing that. Because then I would have this would have happened next turn. But my Storm matchup is really bad. My deck is not very fast. It's grindy. Yeah. Coalition Relic, so we get to go land, Chandra. Now they counter her. Counter draw, sure. I can Purphoros' Intervention and then Skull Clamp it, which is kind of funny. But this feels like a matchup I'm probably going to lose. The reason for playing the Forest there is I could hit like a double green card. Riftwing Cloudscape. Maybe they're not Storm. I don't think you ever play Riftwing Cloudscape in a Storm deck. And this is a very good card. Okay. I don't actually need all the mana. Let's just do Sulphurous Springs. That's the land I need the least. They path my Sulphurous Springs. You got it. Grab a forest. Go ahead. This feels like a matchup that could come down to a big Purphoros' Intervention. Okay, they spell... Oh, do they have Time Walk? Please don't have Time Walk and Library. Ugh, gross. Okay, you got Time Walk. Their deck looks very good. Except for the Chain of Vapor. Interesting, they didn't want to activate Library. I mean, that probably just means bad news for me, but... Okay, Teferi can bounce Nissa. But Teferi's at 1? I mean, this is not the worst. Unless they have counter magic. Jite. Oh, this goes on the bottom of my deck, that's right. Okay, so I can go Relic, Intervention thing, but then I can't Lightning Bolt, and I think Lightning Bolting Teferi seems pretty important. Plus they're just gonna Riftwing Cloudskate, so let's Intervention for 1. We'll start there. They clearly have like Mana Drain or something up, because they tapped out of Library. Kill Teferi. Then we Skull Clamp. Nissa and 1 unknown. Draw a Forest. I guess I care less about Relic, so let's just play a Relic. No, because they're gonna Riftwind Cloudskate anything I play. I'll just play a Jite. It's less mana. Lets me hold up Lightning Bolt for the Cloudskate, maybe. Interesting. They didn't want to miscalc the Jite. Okay, well I played around miscalc perfectly. Riftwing comes down. What are you targeting? Jite makes sense. But they're short of Library of Alexandria card draw now. In fact, they could have even... No, I guess they had to tap it before they Teferi'd. Yawgmoth will Time Walk. I'm gonna respond to... Well, they could play Teferi here. If they just play Teferi, it's not that bad. I'm gonna kill this thing. This makes the Time Walk so much less bad. It's probably gonna be like Time Walk, Night's Whisper, draw off Library or something. Oh, just Vendilion Click, take my Nissa, sure. We have Jite though. We draw a land, which is bad. You know what would be really good in this spot again? Good old Perforos's Intervention. Oof. Treasure Cruise? They're still not up to Library, but if they pass turn... Nope. Okay, they just don't care about Library anymore. That works for me. They only have 13... They've drawn 13 cards more than I have this game. Is that right? That can't be right. I'm just drawing all lands. Play Relic. Play Jite. Pass. I guess I just fetch for Basic Mountain because I will cycle the one that adds black. Okay, they don't do anything. I mean, they could just be holding up counter magic, which would definitely make sense. Yeah, I want to be able to cycle the land if I draw it. Alright. I should have charged my Coalition Relic, but Minsk and Boo, do your thing. Because Skull Clamp, Minsk and Boo is pretty dang good. They have Brainstorm, that's not counter magic yet. Come on, don't counter it. We want the Hamster. Does he have haste? It has haste? They remand. Okay. Oh my gosh, did I get like max punished? I think I got max punished by not charging my Coalition Relic. Because I can't equip Jite to my Hamster. That hurts. Easy ability, yes. So we want to put counters on you. Get in there, friendly Hamster. And then, yeah, I got so punished here. I guess I just equip Skull Clamp and don't attack them? Oh no, if they spend their whole turn killing Minsk and Boo, I have this Jite in play, which just kind of wrecks them. Unless they have Exile. I'm trying to think. Because they could just attack Minsk with both. If they have creature removal, I'm dead anyway. And if they don't have creature removal, I have Jite against this board. Alright. I'm not beating creature removal, regardless of what happens. But... yeah, Charge Coalition Relic would be pretty good here. This has Trample? Oh my gosh. That's crazy. So now, Woodfall Primus is big. I mean, Walking Ballista is probably the best thing I could draw. Nissa's on the bottom of my deck, but she got shuffled in, I think? Or is she exiled? Nope, she's somewhere. I don't know where Nissa is. She's on the bottom, but she got shuffled, that's right. Wow, they're not even killing Minsk and Boo. That's huge. Here comes the really bad ninja. The repercussions of this are so strong here. Okay, I take 5. They get to cast one of them. Both of them. What are the top 2? A Braid Mountain. Well, my GT hopes are gone. I kill the hamster. I draw Karn. They have Vendilion Click. I can Green Sun Zenith for Eternal Witness. Seems pretty good. Make my hamster. Yes, I would absolutely love to make a hamster here. Oh, Bonecrusher Giants. Okay, my hand's very good now. So they Vendilion Click. Put a stop here. I don't want Karn. They can take Green Sun Zenith, so let's kill the click. They probably should leave me with Karn. They take the Karn? Wow, okay. I'm happy with that. Okay. So that happens. Let's go ahead and try and put counters on our hamster. And equip Jite to our hamster. Do I dare go greedy for Skull Clamp? Green Sun Zenith for Eternal Witness costs 4. And then I get a Lightning Bolt from that. Otherwise, I want to go Phyrexian Revoker, Green Sun Zenith for 1, Skull Clamp. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Let's... I don't think I need a Skull Clamp. I think if I get a hit with this, I'm just winning. Okay, we got that. That's great. Now what? Green Sun Zenith for Eternal Witness. Oh, I can also just play Bonecrusher Giant. That's probably just the best play. Cast you. And I mean, if I take one more hit, I die. So let's also just play Phyrexian Revoker as a blocker. Naming Jace the Mind Sculptor. Yep. Because I just killed them next turn with Boo. I mean, maybe I should name Black Lotus. Like, it's possible they also have a Storm Wind condition. They're playing Yawgmoth's Will. This card is unbelievably absurdly strong, by the way. Like, what? It made a 4/4 haste trample, and it just keeps making it every turn, and then if I get to survive, I get to fling, do X damage to anything, and draw X cards. Which could be just so high because I can pump it with Jite. Okay, we don't care about Glenn. Don't care about Muldrifter. Is there like... Oh, are they trying to win off of Thassa's Oracle here? That would be clever, because they have 4 blue? No. Really weird. Okay. They have 3 cards in their deck. I'm not going to make a hamster here. Okay. This happens. I can always Green Sun Zenith for Lightning Bolt. This is a little bit tricky. I think I equip Skull Clamp to Boo. And let's go ahead and use 1 Jite counter. Alright, -2. Sacrifice the hamster. Do 7 damage to you. Brain Freeze isn't enough. Okay, alright. That works, I guess. I don't know what their deck is, but I beat an active, whatever that it was for like so many turns, so I'm pretty happy about what I have going on. They've remanned Cryptic Command. Not a ton of removal. This could actually be a pretty good Beaumont Courier matchup. It's not a very good Karn matchup, he's just very expensive. Goblin Guide, Robber of the Rich. I like both of those. Intervention is cute, but not the best card ever. Nissa I like, Chandra, Garrick, Ewit, Bonecrusher, Braid, Revoker. Deathrite Shaman kind of stands out as the worst card in the deck, which means I get to cut Sulfur Springs for a mountain. 17 lands. I did make my curve much lower, so I could cut a land for something like an Ember Shieldbreaker or just keep Deathrite Shaman in. But my curve is... Oh, Woodfall Primus is also pretty bad in this matchup, I think. When they're running Vapor Snag, whatever that card is, I don't think I want a Woodfall Primus. So I can run... I mean, I have a lot... I'll run the Intervention, sure. I got too excited off the Skull Clamp thing. This hand looks good. turn 1 Mystic, turn 2 maybe... Well, it's going to be GT for sure. So they're not Storm, they're some kind of weird control-y deck. They have like 1 Path to Exile or Swords, I think. They have Time Walk, they have Teferi, they have Yawgmoth's Will Time Walk. Oh yeah, and good old-fashioned Riftwind Cloudscape. Lightning Bolt. You know, I'm probably going to cycle this land, so let's just go Mountain, GT, attack for 1. I'm not holding up Lightning Bolt because it would be really telegraphed in this situation. They draw step Vendilion click me, they don't. Okay. Let's go Mountain, Goblin Guide, equip GT to the Goblin Guide. Move to combat. And I don't really care about this Elvish Mystic. They didn't show anything super scary that can stop it. Miscalculation on top, so good to know about. They probably like Vapor Snag the Goblin or blocking Vendilion click. That's fine. I could have held up Lightning Bolt. It didn't feel super necessary. I think that trade was really good for me. They do know about the Bolt now. They have Library with 4 cards in hand, so that's not that scary. They don't have Cryptic Command available. Forest, equip GT. Attack them. So they're gonna bounce the GT with Riftwing. Maybe. They could also bounce Elvish Mystic. Actually, them bouncing Mystic makes more sense, so I'll just keep the counters. That's right. Okay, they also have Miscalc. I say, as I knew about it, but they knew that I knew about it, so they just cycle it away. That comes down. If they bounce GT, I get to kill the thing, so bouncing Mystic makes sense to me. Yeah, that makes sense. Here's where Perforos's intervention, you know, get in a hasty GT hit, seems good. Yeah, they can ponder. I just can't let them ninjutsu. Okay, they time walk. I'm just gonna kill this thing. Saves me quite a bit of life. I don't think Undying Evil is in this. Can you imagine they had Undying Evil here? They bring it back with a +1/+1 counter or whatever. It'd be pretty good. No! I have 6! Oh, that sucks. I did not... They duress... That's weird. They time walked before duress. So they should be at 13. I don't know how much it matters, but they should be at 13. That's a lot of land. Mystic. Remand the Mystic. Cryptic Command my Mystic. Bounce GT. Counter target spell. Draw card. Okay. Cycle you. Hey, there it is. Right on time. We can get GT up to 4 and then be more safe against the ninjutsu guy. Alright, Treasure Cruise is pretty good. Okay, they don't do anything. That's good. Play Escape to the Wilds. They haven't shown Daze, so I'm not going to play around it because I saw almost their entire deck. They've shown Remand, which is fine. I gotta stop F6ing. I didn't even think I did F6 there. I don't know why it didn't let me gain life. It shouldn't matter too much, but it is annoying that they've just gotten me 2 times by hitting F6. Okay, they take damage. They're just hard casting him. Okay. Perforos's intervention. Do twice X damage. So I can go Escape to the Wilds and play 2 lands. This is until the end of your next turn. And I can play an additional land. So I play this. I get 2 land drops, which will be this and this. This does twice X damage, which will be 2, which will be 4. So I can Escape to the Wilds here. And I guess I can go... I'm gonna have a crazy next turn, I suppose. Mountain, forest, kill your thing. And then next turn I'm just gonna play all of those green cards. My opponent, I mean, what do they have in hand? It's crazy. Bone Crusher's pretty good. Let's go forest. Start with Garrick, because that's the easiest. They venture the Garrick, but he's in my hand now, so that's fine. I'm not going to play into Garrick. Let's just go Raphaelos, Tree Speaker, And do I play Skull Clamp? They have 3 cards in hand. I could also just hold up Stomp on Venser, or I could just straight up Stomp Venser right now. Skull Clamp's gonna be a really good late game card. Okay, match down. See you all in the finals. All right, we're here in the finals against West Vale Preacher. Tell him good luck, have fun. On the draw, this hand's pretty slow. This hand is keepable, I guess, on a mulligan. As long as someone fetches, then Deathright Shaman can be good. But it's objectively, like, not that great. Walking Ballista, sure. So my best possible draw... Oh, if they just kill it, that's good. Okay, you know what? Deathright Shaman acting as a 4 damage to the face duress seems great. Orzhov Signet, sure. Lightning Bolt is good. Ballista's good too. Ooh, the Mardu. Mardu is very strong in this cube and very underdrafted, so I'm expecting like Kolaghan's Command here or something. I'll discard... I don't know what I'll discard. How did I know that? Oh, I can... No, I can't counter it, can I? I could do 1 damage to them, but they're still an active target, so the spell doesn't fizzle. I feel like discarding Lightning Bolt here makes sense. I know it's the only card in my hand that I can play, but this feels like it's going to be a grindy matchup, and I'd rather go for the late game. It also kind of scares my opponent. If I could have, I would have discarded Raphaelos. Ooh, that's pretty dang good. Do I have Mizzium Mortars in this deck? I don't know. Lingering Souls eat Planeswalkers for breakfast. Perforos' Intervention. Not the hero we asked for. The hero we got. Okay, they don't do anything. That's... Okay, Jite. That is the one thing that can help here. Feel very silly discarding Lightning Bolt, but like any land off the top would have been good. Okay, Mountain. I mean, it would have been good, right? Chandra here is going to go down so far. My opponent probably has tons of removal. What do? We play Chandra and downtick and be sad about it. Or I can uptick and that lets me uptick next turn, but this doesn't let you play lands, right? You may cast that card. I guess I'm going to uptick here. Nope, not casting it. Okay, Knights. I mean, they're down to 10. That's something. If I could just hit like a haste Goblin Guide. Oh man, they used Dreadbore on Chandra. Okay. Goblin Guide. I don't even think it's in the deck, but Goblin Guide. Faraga Tree Speaker. You know what? They probably just have a way to kill it, but if they don't, things are gonna get bad for them. Yeah, they have a kill spell. Inferno. I mean, they're down to 8. Maybe I was supposed to... No, because they used Dreadbore. I needed them to use Dreadbore because that gives me outs to like Garruk downtick make a beast. And then they have to kill Garruk with spirits and all that stuff. Forest, Garruk. Garruk makes... Oh, you know what? I could uptick Garruk. I actually kind of like that. Play Raphaelos. Because now I have 2 threats. They can't kill Garruk outright with the spirits. And if they don't have a way to kill Raphaelos, then Jite clears the way. There is something to be said for downticking to make a beast because they're at 8 life. They discard Zealous Conscripts. That's a game-winning play. What's better than that? Oh, okay. Clever. I'm super dead. Because they get to steal Garruk, ultimate it. I'll let them do it. Turns out, make a beast was the correct line. Oh, that's beautiful. Steal Raphaelos too, you got it. I was dead no matter what happened. Alright, I'll concede here. Okay. Rampaging Ferocidon is good against the random tokens. This is another matchup where Woodfall Primus and Karn seem a little slow. Zealous Conscripts in particular is good against Karn, but it's just good against my deck. I think I maybe should just be playing Robber of the Rich because haste with Jite is very good. Let's go first. Okay. This is definitely a much better hand than last game. Turn 1, Mystic. Turn 2, Rafellos tapped Proving Ground. Okay, never mind. Turn 2, Forest, Rafellos. We are probably going to see the real downsides of playing green is that essentially any interaction is live against you. Creature removal is live, discard is live, and that makes your deck a little bit susceptible. Play this, because I want 5 lands for Nissa. Yeah, their deck's really good. Mardu, good cards. Discarding Lingering Souls. Flashback Lingering Souls. Animate dead Avalanche Riders, kill my Proving Ground? Glad I didn't cycle it. Are they gonna then Recurring Nightmare the Avalanche Riders and I just won't have lands? This feels like something that might happen. Oh, okay, good. I can kill this. Not dealing with that nonsense. I'm gonna text them. There will be... They said that's the second time they've gone for that play this league and they had removal both times. Well, you can't just be rude. This has been one of my better runs lately. Yeah, the deck looks sick. Do I Perforce's Intervention to kill 1 spirit? I don't think so. This is huge. Hack 1 was Archon into Elish Norn. Which is Archon? They discard Dreadbore. I love it. I mean, they probably have something better, but... Ugh. Yep, that hurts. But they have 1 card in hand, right? They discarded Dreadbore. I could just play Minskin Boo if they draw it. Eternal Witness seems pretty good. Get back Nissa. So they know about the intervention. There's no real way for me to keep Nissa safe from Zealous Conscripts. Reanimate Avalanche Riders. I love the enthusiasm. They're at 7 life, so Perforos' intervention might just be lethal. Although I guess they know about it and they're killing my red source. How did they get to 7 life? Ooh. Okay, that's a very good play. So if I draw a red source, I can kill Restoration Angel. They're at 6 life. Like, they're still not winning this. So happy when they wield the Riders in Pack 3. Riders are doing work here. Oh no, Robber! Okay, they probably pay the Echo. No, they don't. Did you draw recurring? Oh my gosh. Their draws have been non-stop fire. I don't think I'm beating these draws. They keep back a spirit, makes sense. Robber the Rich would still be a good play. Okay, there's Mountain. I could make a 3/1 Trampler. Feels like not what I want to do. I could just kill the Restoration Angel, which I think is the play. This does 4 damage to Restoration Angel. Let me think about this. I could also play Robber of the Rich. I take 3 damage, but I can block their spirits. I like that more. This threatens Perforos' intervention for lethal a lot better. They discard Inferno Grasp. Makes sense. So, untapped land for Nissa is very good. I'll trade Eternal Witness with the Goblin Shaman, I think. Attacking out is scary. Don't like that. Block here. Yeah, I'll trade here. Okay, so they just went for it. I draw a land, so I get to go Nissa. If they have removal, I guess I die. Because Nissa is 4 damage. Perforos is just straight up lethal. But they didn't... they didn't crack any of their Sunbaked Canyon or anything. They discarded Fertile Grasp. What is happening here? Nissa doesn't kill them. Intervention does. Alright. Let's go for lethal. Recent Haste is such a funny keyword pair. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, is Solitude just kill me? I guess I gain life. They take the 4. And I die exactly. Nissa would have kept me alive. Nice played. So if I Nissa there, What happens if I Nissa there? I Nissa there. I don't know why it goes to this screen. Turn the game. If I Nissa and I attack, this has vigilance. So they exile my land. They take 2 off the thing. But I gain 1 more life. So I'm at 8. They can't exactly kill me. And I draw Walking Ballista. So I think Nissa actually was a winning line, given the top card of my deck. I think they exile that. I have Robber the Rich still in play. They attack me for a bunch, so I guess they can probably kill Nissa this turn. Yeah, I think they can kill Nissa. And then I have Robber of the Rich. Maybe I don't win. Because they have Fable. I think they were winning that either way. Thanks for watching. See you all next time.